Hollywood is full of bold choices, but sometimes those choices just don't work. These actors are talented in their own right, but when it came to these particular roles, something was off. From awkward performances to characters that just didn't fit. Here are 10 of the most misguided casting decisions in movie history. 10. Joe Courtney as Kyle Reese Terminator. Genesis, the original Kyle Reese, was intense, brave, and unforgettable thanks to Michael Biehn in 1984 as the Terminator. When Joe Courtney stepped into the role in 2015 as Genesis, fans expected the same spark. Instead, his performance felt flat. The chemistry with Sarah Connor wasn't there, and the magic of the character was lost. 9. Cameron Diaz as Jenny Everdeen. Gangs of New York. Cameron Diaz has amazing charm in romantic comedies and light dramas, but her role in Gangs of New York was a mismatch. Playing opposite Leonardo DiCaprio and Daniel Day-Lewis, her character felt one-dimensional and forgettable. She was simply overshadowed in a film packed with heavyweight performances. 8. Julia Roberts as Mary Ree. By the mid-90s, Julia Roberts was America's sweetheart. But her attempt at playing a timid Irish maid in this gothic horror film didn't land. The accent felt forced, and she lacked the depth needed to carry such a dark, complex role. While the whole film flopped, Roberts' miscasting remains the most glaring issue. 7. Russell Crowe as Javert Les Mis Rebels. Russell Crowe is usually brilliant as both hero and villain, but in Les Mis Rebels, he struggled. Javert is meant to be intimidating and relentless, but Crowe's singing voice and performance didn't deliver that intensity. Surrounded by powerhouse performances from Hugh Jackman and Anne Hathaway, Crowe's version just couldn't keep up. 6. Mark Wahlberg as Sully. Uncharted. Fans of the Uncharted video games were excited to see Sully on the big screen. In the games, he's an older, wiser mentor to Nathan Drake. In the movie, Mark Wahlberg's version came across more like a sarcastic older brother. It wasn't terrible, but it definitely wasn't the Sully fans were hoping for. 5. Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor. Batman v Superman. Dawn of Justice. Jesse Eisenberg is great at playing sharp, cerebral characters, but as Superman's greatest villain, he felt out of place. Instead of a menacing mastermind, his take on Lex Luthor came across as twitchy and eccentric. It was a bold attempt at a new interpretation, but ultimately it didn't stick with audiences. 4. Mila Kunis as Theodora Oz. The great and powerful Mila Kunis is fantastic in comedies and lighter roles, but casting her as the Wicked Witch of the West didn't work. The look, the makeup, even the voice, none of it had the terrifying edge audiences expected from such an iconic villain. Compared to the legendary Margaret Hamilton, this version simply fell flat. 3. Dane DeHaan and Cara Delevingne as Valerian and Laureline Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets, with one of the biggest budgets for an independent film ever. Expectations were high, but the leads lacked charisma, depth, and chemistry. Fans of the original comic wanted dynamic, engaging characters. Instead, the film gave us bland performances that dragged down an otherwise visually stunning project. 2. Topher Grace as Eddie Brock. Venom Spider-Man 3. Topher Grace was fresh off that 70s Edge show when he landed the role of Eddie Brock. The problem? He didn't look or feel like Venom. He wasn't intimidating, and his performance lacked the menace fans expected. Years later, Tom Hardy proved how terrifying Venom could be, making Grace's casting look even more out of place. 1. Sofia Coppola as Mary Corleone. The Godfather Part 3. When Julia Roberts and Winona Ryder dropped out, Francis Ford Coppola cast his daughter Sofia as Mary Corleone. With little acting experience, she was thrown into one of the most legendary franchises in history. The result was a flat performance that dragged down crucial scenes. To her credit, Sofia went on to become a brilliant director, but her acting debut remains one of the most infamous miscasts in Hollywood. Some of these actors are amazing, in other roles, but the wrong casting choice can sink even the biggest project. Which performance do you think was the most out of place? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more deep dives into Hollywood's biggest hits and misses.